Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are now in Ray's Juke Joint. The lights are on, the drinks are flowing, and I'm here with my guy Eric, and we are going to do another live episode of Ray's Juke Joint podcast here on YouTube. The pod will be out tomorrow. It's Friday night. We feeling all right, and Eric, how you feeling?
Good, man. Good. Big ice cube scotch, always, right? Big ice cube scotch and
big
some fun stuff to talk about.
I got my ice is melted, but I got rye. No, this is bourbon. This is Woodford Reserve. So that's what I'm
There you go. Mm-hmm. I like it. Happy Friday, buddy. Happy Friday.
But madam, what am I trying to say? My damn ice didn't melt, and now it feels like I'm watered down. I might have to go get a refresher once I get you going.
There you go. There'll be plenty of time.
So yeah, man, we're here today. We're trying to get this YouTube thing off the ground, and what's really been happening is like we've been looking at so many different things and looking at White Sox Twitter, and people are losing their minds because they're like, the Sox aren't trading for anyone. The Sox aren't signing anyone. It's like, what are we to do, Eric? What are we to do, man?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last time a little bit. I mean, I get the frustration, obviously, and everybody wants instant gratification. But like, Han was very specific early on. He said that it was going to have to be the trade market, and every year, pretty much for the offseason, the free agents go first, which we did see a nice buzz of free agents go out during the winter meetings, which is nice. And then the trade market will heat up. Heyman tweeted out today that like the trade market was pretty much dead right now, and that's where the White Sox are looking to get involved to retool, or whatever, and make a few changes here. Is going to be in the trade market, and there hasn't been too many trades yet. So I know it sucks, but we're going to have to just be patient a little bit to see how they're going to retool this team.
Right. Yeah, we're just going to have to be a little bit patient. And we got some ideas tonight, people. We got some things we want to talk about. Eric has been working diligently. I've been working diligently. We've been trying to figure out how best we can kind of help White Sox fans understand, like, you may not think that we can get Carlos Correa, or you think we can. Why and why not? You may think that there's a reason why we should be able to sign these guys, but you think the White Sox are cheap, so on and so forth. So we're gonna get into some of that, Eric. What do you want to get into first, man? What do you want to get into first?
Yeah, I mean, well, let's go Rule 5 a little bit, right? That's something that did happen over the winter meetings. They had the Rule 5 draft. A lot of people are very confused about what the Rule 5 means and how it works. Let's go over it. When a club signs a player, either via the international draft or via the draft, international signs of the draft, any player 18 years or younger has 5 years of control. Any player 19 years or over has 4 years of control. And then they have to be put on the 40-man roster. So what clubs have to decide is when a player gets to that level of control, are they going to protect him and put him on the 40-man roster? Because if they don't, they become eligible for the Rule 5 draft.
Right.
Now, there's two types of Rule 5 drafts. There's a major league version and a minor league version. Let's go to major league version first. Major league version means if you select somebody in a major league round, he has to immediately be added to your 26-man roster. Minor league version means if you draft somebody, they have to get a promotion. So if they were in low A, they have to go to high A. If they were in high A, they have to go to double A. If they're in double A, they have to go to triple A. They have to go up one step from where they were if you take a selection. White Sox selected Nick Avila from the Giants in the major league round. So now what happens? They owe $100,000 to the Giants for Nick. He immediately gets added to the 26-man roster. He has to stay on that 26-man roster the entire year, or they have to cut him. Then if he passes waivers, he can go back to the Giants for $50,000. But what a lot of people don't understand, there's another twist to this. The White Sox bullpen's pretty full. Like, we already have, you got to think about the stuff. We already have Liam. We already have Graveman. We already have Bummer. We already have Kelly. We already have Lopez. We already have Ruiz. We already have Diekman. Crochet will be back May, June. So, like,
Diekman's
Lambert.
still here. Diekman's going to be here. Was he on the 1-1?
No.
Option, or
He's got one more full year and then another option. So he'll be here this year too. So, you know, and then you got Lambert, who I think is going back to the starter. They haven't said anything. I think it makes most sense for the club, and then but possibly he's in the bullpen. So, like, the bullpen's kind of full. So I don't think Nick has ties to Ethan Katz. I don't think they're just going to let this man, who's never been past Double-A, come up and sit on 26-man roster and take innings. I just don't see it happen. So, unique thing that people don't realize is the White Sox could work out a trade for Nick now that they selected him and get all of his option years back. Then he can go down to Charlotte, come up to help, go down to Charlotte, come up to help. It gives us 3 years of sitting back and forth versus just leaving him up on the 26-man roster. So, I hope that clarifies some things on how it works, but I think the White Sox will trade for the rights of Nick. That way he get all of his option years back. That gives him 3 years to develop. He can go back and forth between Charlotte and the big club during that time. So that's some Rule 5 stuff.
Okay, so as you talk about a Rule 5 draft, those players are just sitting there. If I'm understanding you correctly, Eric.
Yeah, so let's just say they signed you, Ray, at 19 years old.
Okay.
They got 4 years to put you on the 40-man roster and let you start making the minimum MLB wage.
Okay.
And if they don't do that, you become eligible for Rule 5, which means like any team can draft you to move you to their big club. But you go straight, you skip to 40, you go straight to 26 if you're taken. So if the White Sox would have selected you, you would have automatically gone to the 26-man roster. So this kid basically got a promotion from making nothing to making 40-man roster. But right now he has no options, which we're going to talk about in a minute when we get into contract stuff. But like, it's not ideal to have a guy, especially at age, don't have any options. You can't, if he's struggling, you can't send him down, whatever the thing. So I'm going to guess they trade for his option rights back. But he'll still be on the 40 and he'll still get a nice pay raise. But that'll give him the option to send him back and forth to Charlotte, like we saw Davis Martin doing a lot last year or whatever.
Oh, well, you know what? I love Davis Martin, honestly, and I like the way they've used him over the last couple of years. Well, no, really last year, right? That was really the first time we saw
last year, yeah.
Okay, and so a lot of people don't know. Like we talked about on the last episode, the clock started on him. And now he's a valuable asset to the team, and he may even break the starting rotation depending on who gets hurt or whatever.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be that first swing guy. He's number 6 in the rotation, right? And if any injury or possible trades, which I don't see any White Sox making out of the pitching market, but if they do, I mean he's somebody that could possibly break camp with the deal with the team.
Okay, so let's talk about possible trades, or is that what you want to get into? Or
let's go. Let's go a little more information. Like, let's go what teams are looking for. Let's go into that realm or whatever. Like you're never going to hear us on this show talk about slash lines. You're not going to hear us talk about home runs. You're not going to hear us talk about RBIs. You're not going to hear us talk about batting average. Like we are in. Just like the GMs are, and that's what we're trying to do here is give a little inside perspective to what GMs are looking for. We are expected stats. We are WOBA, ex-WOBA. We are WRC plus. We are OPS plus. We are hard hit exit velocity. We are some of that stuff. So let's go ahead and go into that segment, Ray, and you can play that clip and we'll show some stuff.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's go.
All right.
It was average, home runs, RBI. So everybody look at that and judge a player based on those stats.
Well, hold on a second. Do we need to let everybody know who this is?
We can. I mean, it's Carlos Correa is who it is.
It's Carlos Correa.
It's the number one free agent probably out there right now. It's
right.
Probably number 2 all year.
Right. So let's just get in here. Make sure everybody knows this is Carlos Correa, a Major League Baseball player, the hottest free agent right now. Everybody wants him on their team, so on and so forth. But this is how he thinks, right, Eric?
He's telling you how front offices think. It's not how he thinks. He's telling you. He's going to say front offices look at this.
All right, here we go.
They don't look at what his
rewind it.
bat average is. Right.
All right, here we go.
So, with the old school, it was average, home runs, RBI. So everybody look at that and judge a player based on those stats. Now, there's a lot more information out there. Now, it's all about projection. So how do you project a player? Play discipline is very important. WRC Plus takes into consideration the ballparks you play in, the league you play in, the quality of contact, your play discipline, just about everything in just one stat. So when GMs, when front offices, when they look at stats, they want to look at WRC Plus for a hitter, OPS Plus, and WOBA. Those are the most important stats right now in baseball. Those are the new triple crown, as we like to call it back in the day. It's not average home runs anymore. So when I'm in the clubhouse with the players, I make sure I tell them, hey, home runs are nice. If you can hit as many of them, hit them. But also focus on your play discipline. Get on base. Hit the ball hard. That's the key of the game. Barrel balls.
Yeah, how you like that, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. And that's, you'll see a lot of people out there be like, well, he had 23 home runs, or hey, he hit 270, or hey, his on-base percentage was 340. Nobody cares. They don't care. Like you just heard him. That's
pretty bad, Eric.
It's xWOBA. It's it's your weighted on-base percentage. It's how your hard hit, your exit velocity, how many hard hit balls, how many barrels, what's your WRC plus, what's your OPS plus. Like, they don't care what your batting average was or what, how many home runs you get. They just don't. It's not part of their factor. They're trying to project what you're going to do going forward, not what happened. So I think you got a couple more deals I would like to just show. Can you bring up the one I think by Sarah that talks about why hard hit balls are important?
Give me 1 second. Let me get that fired up. 1 second. You said for Sarah?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here she is. This was Sarah's tweet that we had fired up. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, so a great follow, by the way, Sarah Lang. So whatever, if you're into the stats, you're into the expected stats, you're into the stuff so this talks here, highest percentage of swings that ended up with hard contact. So you're going to notice a lot of these names. There's a very important one there on the bottom as well.
Andrew Vaughn.
Yeah, Jordan Alvarez, Yandy Diaz, Lando Kirk, Juan Soto, Lando Vaughn. So why do we care? Why do we care about hard hit balls? Like you hear, well, for example, Ozzy, exit velocity don't matter. It does. Like, why do we care? Hard hit ball, which is 95-mile-an-hour ball off the bat, and the MLB batting average is a 488, and it slugs 954. So hitting the ball hard, to Correa's point, makes a giant difference. Giant difference. The next thing, and probably the other biggest fault I see people have, or old school mentality, kind of like home runs and RBIs, is that right-handed and left-handed match. Everybody's like, it makes a difference. Like, we don't have enough left-handed hitters, or we don't have enough left-handed pitchers. Well, the White Sox, they showed you, it really doesn't matter. They signed their fifth right-handed starter, or whatever in the free agency. Like, right. That stuff doesn't matter anymore. It's different. So we got a couple clips. I don't care which one you show first. Maybe Mike's, if you want to.
You said Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, that's David. Nope, get out of here. Oh, here we go.
Maybe Mike's so this is great, right? He talks about how David Robinson made a pinch hit deal in the thing, and how it's just not righty-lefty platoon choices anymore. It's about swing planes, and it's about what's the best chance to get to that pitcher. Is it a guy with a little bit of an uppercut swing? Is it a guy with a flatter swing? Is it a guy in this? So, this is how the game's evolved. It's no longer just, oh, hey, he's a right-handed pitcher. Let me go get a left-handed hitter. What if the right-handed hitter's at top of the right-handed pitcher's top of his own pitcher, and the left-handed guy got an uppercut swing? It ain't gonna work, right? It's no longer just your old school dad right-handed, left-handed stuff. It's not gonna go. So go on down to JP's quote there.
Yeah, you know what? So I just want to expand on that. When we started this thing, when we started talking and making up the spaces, and I started learning from you, and I called you and I said, Eric, this is the reason why I want you, to start this venture with me, because I want to learn too, and I want to be a part of the learning process of understanding what this new baseball advanced metrics are, advanced stats. Why are teams moving to these analytics? I mean, analytics has taken over all the sports. And nerds rule the world. So it's like, okay, we got these nerds and they're coming up with these stats, but you start to see why these stats work. And I just want to thank you for that. Why I got you here, for helping me understand these things, because I never would have thought about any of this stuff, because I'm an old fogey that thinks I need a left-hander, a right-hander, a left-hander, a right-hander, a left-hander, right-hander. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm facing a left-hand pitching, throw 90 right-hand hitters at this left-hander, or so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Like, so that was always my thing too.
Yep. No, that's very common. And it's just, this is why we started to do this, right? Just try to help. Like, people love off-season, they love trades, they love why. So like, here, go ahead, put that up there. Here's JP's quote talking about why Austin Barnes versus the left-hander. He talks about how his shorter swing and his flat path was better versus, instead of the uphill, Austin, he's also had success. So like, this is a manager in real game time for the Los Angeles Dodgers going against Harder and choosing somebody that had a flatter swing instead of maybe somebody that would be a traditional deal, because he thought that was the best chance to get at it. And like, these are the decisions managers are making. And these decisions also start from the GM level. You don't want one type of pitcher. You don't want one type of hitter. All your hitters can't be uppercut, huge swing, Joey Gallo, lowest, not least flat bat swing, in baseball. They all can't be that. So go ahead and show the White Sox Shelley Duncan tweet. Like, this is brilliant here. This is real neat.
All right, here we go. There you go.
So this is actually right here from White Sox analytic coordinator Shelley last year. Talks about, we're getting to the point now where we're going to be attacking hitters. We're not going to be attacking hitters. We're going to be attacking their swing profiles. We're going to be looking at where people swing and understand how to attack them. So no longer is it just, oh, you're a left-hander, here I'm going to go get a left-hander. It's, no, you can't handle the breaking ball down and away, or you can't handle the high fastball, or you can't handle this. So it really doesn't matter where it's coming from. They're trying to attack. Everybody's seeing the 9 grid zones that has the meters and their hots and what's their XBA. You can do it right on Savant. You can look at their different pitches and stuff and like what's their deal. So like, now instead of attacking by hand, they're no longer attacking them by hand. They're attacking them by their weaknesses. Yeah. So handness almost doesn't matter, and it doesn't play into the factor at all. It's almost, where's your weak zone? And we're going to start attacking them from there. So like, I just want to make sure when people are like, when they see me on Twitter and see on stuff and like, I'm talking about handness don't matter and this doesn't matter. Like, it all matters a little, but in the grand scheme of things, this is where baseball's going, right? This is where baseball's going.
This is what GMs are looking for.
100%. And this is what they're looking at. They're looking at your X-slug, your XBA, your exit velocity, your hard hit percentage, your bail rate percentage, your WRC plus, your OPS plus. That's what they're looking for. That's 100% what they're looking for. So like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Then the next step that's going to go into that a little bit, it's going to be contract and value in what works and what doesn't work. So like, we on our last podcast predicted that Cody Bellinger would go to the Dodgers, right? Yep. That was the first thing we said. Then you asked me why. And I said, the Cubs on like a fringe year, probably not going to be famous in the division. They could use a 1-year deal because that's what Cody's looking for. So like, why is Cody looking for a 1-year deal? Because like, he was a former NL MVP. He's a guy that should be getting the 5 years, $150 million deals or whatever, but he struggled the last 2 years, so he's not. So he wants a 1-year prove-it deal. And what's some of his restrictions around that? I'll give you an example. He's going to want to play center field. He's going to want to face left-handed pitching. He's not going to want to be platooned for. Because a center fielder has more value than a first baseman. Center fielder has more value than a first baseman. He's trying to raise his value this year so that he can go out next year and land a big contract. That's his number one goal in all this. So for him to sign somewhere, teams make sacrifices and guarantees to him that he's going to get a certain amount of bats, play a certain position, and that he's not going to be platooned for. Like, they make these arrangements before they even sign him. Like, that's the stipulations they have. So like, when I say that Joey Gallo doesn't belong on the White Sox, according to Spot Rack, he was after a 1-year deal. Sox can't make those concessions on a 1-year deal. They can't make, hey, yeah, you can have, all the right field and you're going to get 500 at bats. He's hitting 199 for his career and he hit 169 last year. Like, they can't make that concession. If he's absolutely terrible, he's going to get those bats. Also, too, the reason why the Cubs sign him is if they're struggling, they can flip him at the deadline. The
Right.
White Sox are going to be in the pennant race all year long. There's going to be no trade value there, no reason to flip him. A one-year deal is basically just a waste of money because nothing can happen at the end of the year. But now, let's talk about these changes. There was a tweet that went out that said that Gallo might be willing to sign a 2-year deal. 2-year deal, all of a sudden, this makes sense for the White Sox. Because now if the White Sox, new hitting coach, new analytical staff, can fix Joey Gallo and turn him into a good player this year.
He's not hitting
Better
131.
Yeah, he hit 169 or something last year. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was 131. My bad.
Yeah, it might as well have been. If they can fix him, they get the benefit of having him back the following year.
Yeah.
There's more value for a team to sign a 2-year deal than there is to sign a 1-year deal.
And
There's
why
more
is that?
value in. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like just say that Ray, you're struggling to sign you to a 1-year deal, and you come in and I fix you, then you hit the free agency market. Like, I got nothing for that. Free agency.
I got nothing to show for it. Like
Free agency is like shopping at a high-end retail store. You're paying max premium when you're in the free agent market. You're paying over. There's no good deals. Everything you're paying for, you're paying sticker price. There's no discounts. There's no discounts.
Basically, you taught me how to fish, and now I can catch all the fish, and I won't give you shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, now you don't get nothing from it. I spent 1 year with you. Now I'm going to go out and make $150 million, or whatever the case. I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But now you get a 2-year deal out of him, and all of a sudden, he's looking for 1.9, it says on Spot Rack or whatever. So say you give him a 220, and he has a good year, you get him for a second year. So, like, at the 10 price, when it should be maybe a 15 price, or maybe an 18 price, because he had a good year. So there's benefits to the 2-year. Now, there's also option deals. And then a lot of people, obviously, just by my Twitter feed, don't understand any of the option things. So there's 3 types of options you can sign. There's a player option, also referred to as an opt-out. There's a mutual option, and then there's a club option.
Okay.
The player option or the opt-out are saved for like the elite talent because they are terrible deals for the front office.
Okay.
Like Carlos Rodon last year signed an opt-out with the Giants. And it was his choice, 2 years, $44 million. He got paid $22 million. At the end of the year, he could decide if he wanted to come back for 22 or if he wanted to come back to leave. So, like, that's a terrible deal for the Giants because if he has a good year, he just opts out.
Right.
If he has a shit year and he gets hurt, he says, Giants, I'll stay. Give me my $22 million next year. Like, that's a terrible deal for the front office, right? So player options or opt-outs are saved for premium talent. Carlos Correa had one. Rodon had one. Like, for the premium talent player option because they're terrible deals for the front office. They're trying to steal a star for 1 year, basically hoping it makes a difference type situation.
Yeah, it's a rental.
It's rental. That's all it is. It's a rental with no upside for you because if he gets hurt or if he gets damaged or he can't play, he's exercising that option and you're paying it full. You don't have a choice. It's his choice.
Gonzo says he's disappointed in this scrap hunting right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's early. It's early, Gonzo. It's early. So, the other option is going to be the mutual option. Everybody's confused by this. The mutual option is just garbage. Mutual options is nothing more than deferred money. Mutual options are never accepted. Mutual option is, you know what, Ray, you're worth $15 million this year, but my book's a little tight. Can I pay you 10 to start the year and 5 at the end of the year? And you're like, sure, I'll take that. Go ahead.
I'll do that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
no problem.
yeah. That's basically what a mutual option is. So you see the Clevenger deal the White Sox made. The White Sox paid him 8 up front, gave him a mutual option for 4. They're basically giving him a 1 year 12 deal, but they're never, ever going to have that mutual option. It's never going to get extended. It's just a way to defer money to the following year because the budget's tight this year. That's the only thing a mutual option does. The third, in the White Sox, Rick Hahn, and all good front offices for that matter, Braves, Dodgers, whatever, are player options.
Right.
Or club options. And these are very, very team friendly. And you can go down the White Sox list. We can go around. Moncada, Anderson, Eloy, Graveman, Liam, Kelly, Eloy. All these players have club options on the end of their contracts. So what that is Ray, I'm going to pay you $10 million this year. I'm going to give you a $10 million option next year, but I'm going to have a buyout of 2. So, but it's my choice. So if you go out and do great, I'm just going to give you the 10 for next year. If you go out and don't have a good year, Ray, I'm going to be like, here's your $2 million. See ya. Now it's my choice. I get to save the $8 million or I don't. versus being your choice of whether you're coming back or not coming. So if any of these players that I have said are not in the White Sox window, it's because you have to make presumptions and you have to go off stuff. Cody Bellinger, 1 year deal, makes no sense. Joey Gallo, 1 year deal, makes no sense. Michael Conforto, 1 year deal, makes no sense. Now, if they're willing to concede and go with a 1-1 club or 2 years straight, all of a sudden they do fit into the possibly what could be the White Sox deal. So like,
yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand. Like I saw your interaction with somebody on Twitter and you were having a back and forth and he was like, I called you out because you said he doesn't work for the White Sox, so on and so forth. And I was like, well, if you understand what the context of what Eric is saying, you're saying that initially, if it's a 1 year rental, just a straight 1 year, it doesn't fit what the White Sox front office was looking for.
100%.
Right? Okay, so
or what the player is looking for, either one. Because we can't concede what the Cubs did to Bellinger. We can't put him in right field, guarantee him 550 at bats. We got Oscar Colas, who might just tear the ball at the cover. Maybe we want to bring him up. Like, we can't promise these 1 year players what they're going to want.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. It's just
a lot of people don't get it, and I don't do a very good job explaining on Twitter. It's character limits. A lot of times I'm at work and busy, but you have to understand when people, if you really want to get into this and you really want to make a difference, everybody just wants to grab talent. They just, like to your point earlier, they just want to grab talent. Well, I want Carlos Correa, or I want this guy. It has to contract. The talent has to match the contract. So the easiest way for you to figure this out would be who fits the contract value,
right?
And what I'm looking for a team, and then who has the talent out of that group that I want. That's how you GM. You don't GM by being like, I just want this guy. You'll end up broken on the scap heat and fired. It's not how it works. So that being said, let's talk a little bit about what we think the White Sox are going to be looking for.
So you want to talk about trades, or do you want to talk about just who are some options, or just go into options, or you want to go into trades? What are you thinking?
Let's go. Let me go into a few options, but let me explain why I believe these are the options first. So the White Sox basically need 2 outfielders because they have one, right? We have Robert right now technically on the deal, and we have Colos kind of in the wings, but you're never going to want to we've been over this. You're not going to want to start him. He needs the at-bats. He needs to be the backup. So I need 2 outfielders. So I could handle one multi-year outfielder or one or a couple on 2-year deals or 1-1 deals. Mm-hmm. So that's the contract value that you have to look at first. And that's what they'll be looking for. It won't be going after talent first. And that's a giant misconception that everybody in the world makes. It's going to be what fits my windows of stuff and what fits my contract values and what fits what I'm looking to achieve. So what we're looking to achieve is, a little better defense, hard hit balls, more power on somebody that might take a 1 year deal or possibly a 2-year deal, maybe even all the way to 3, right? So that's what we're looking for. So I came up with a small list of possible free agents that not a lot of people are talking about, maybe a little bit different or whatever from everybody going, oh, I don't know, Cody Bellinger, Joey Gallo, Michael Conforto, anybody.
But I think the common thread as we were coming up with the list, I think the common thread was these guys are the ones where their stats and everything like that is kind of it goes together. Maybe
their contract and their situation with the potential upside fits what the White Sox are looking for.
Okay. Right. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So I don't know. Throw one up there. Let's just go. I don't care who you throw first.
Here we go. Who's this guy?
Yeah, Adam Duvall. This is probably number one. It's probably number one on my list. We're talking about played for the Braves, plays right field, above average right fielder, can cover some deals in center. You can see his outs above average right there, which is how good he fields. You can see, on here they got looks like arm strength. Now outfield jump, it really don't matter. He didn't play a lot last year because he had a wrist injury. But for your home run people, if we want to go back to the stat, I think he hit 38 and 20 in a short season and 20 and 38 and 21 before he got hurt last year. So he's got pop and moving to cellar. But go on and down. You had the one behind him with the boxes.
Yeah. Right here. This is his
Yeah, here we go. So this is what a lot of people look at, and this is the best side out there. You can forget Fangraphs, you can forget Baseball Relevance. If you can learn to understand what this stuff means here, you're 90% ahead of the game. So Here's your ex-Woba. We just heard Correa talk about how Woba matters, or whatever. Like, he had 64 in, which is now this is off of 100% tile. So if you're 100%, you're the best in the league. 64, you're in the top 64%. That's what that means, or whatever. So that's why it's tinted a little bit pink. The darker the red, the better. So 64%, 52 last year on a hurt. His XBA isn't the best. He's got a high launch angle. So, like, he's either kind of more of a pop-up or drive the ball or hit the deal thing. He's not more like a TA whose XBA will be off the charts because he's a line drive ground ball hitter. He's a little more of a fly ball guy. X slug. I mean, Ray, how much do we love slugging, right?
We love slug.
We love slug, right?
86. He's top. He's in the 86.
He's elite. He's elite in the X slug, and he's elite for 2 years. And look at the ISO. ISO's isolated power. He's in the 93s, or whatever. So, like, look at his barrel balls and his barrel percentage. You just heard Correa say at the end of the video. This is what stuff's looking about. Look at his exit velocity in 21 at 61. Like, look at his max, 95 and 91. Look at his hard hit percentage, 54 and 70. Yeah. And then, like, to put on top of it, he's a plus outfielder. I mean, like, this is a guy that I would be all over on the White Sox. And right now, his market value, like on the streets, according to our buddies over at Spot Rack, is a 1 year, $7 million deal. So this is a guy at his age is 34, positive outfield, got some pop, moving to a smaller deal at the rate. You could talk this guy into a 2-year deal or a 1 year club option. So, like, I think this guy makes a ton of sense for the White Sox.
I'm guessing I'm having some camera issues or something. I don't know. I'm really thinking
it's frozen up on you a little bit.
I'm thinking that as we go along, I'm gonna have to just upgrade my Wi-Fi or maybe bring the hardwire down or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep moving. Hey, one monkey don't stop. One monkey don't stop no show. I'll tell you that. My grandfather used to say that all the time. Let's go. Who's the next guy?
I throw one up there. I don't care.
Let's go. Who's this guy?
Yeah. So now we're going to second base. It's fine. Gab Torres, right? Very popular name out there among the trade markets. The Yankees have some young kids who are looking to move in. He plays second base, or whatever. Like, you can tell here. Again, like, you can do it, right? Like, look at the top. What's that say? Average exit velocity, in the red. Max, red. Hard hit percentage, red. Woba, above average, or whatever. X slug, like, these are things, barrel rate, or whatever. They're just things we're working about. If we have a concern here, it's probably the OAA. That's above average because second base and the rules changing maybe need to be a little different deal, but this guy fits with the slug. He fits what we're doing. So if you got his bottom screen, like, none of this surprises me here, right? So, like, X Woba all above average, X slug all, other than 21, but 78, X ISO 78, barrel rate 82, barrel percentage 75, exit velocity 76, hard hit percentage 77. Like, yes, please. Like, where can I put this for a second baseman? I don't have to watch Luis Garcia or Josh Harrison flip the ball over second baseman's head. Like, where can I get somebody at second base that can drive the ball? Like, this is another guy that, in a weak position could move the needle for the White Sox would be Torres.
All right, so here we go. Here's another one. Robbie
Grossman. Yeah, so, like, you look at this chart, not very pretty, right? Bad year last year.
It doesn't look as promising as the other ones, for sure.
It doesn't look as promising, right? Couple things he does have going for him here. Obviously, he's got a great eye. You see the baseball percentage down in the deal. You see the chase rate down in the percentage. But, like, you're, like, looking at this and be like, I don't know if I'd be interested or whatever, but, like, hey, everybody's got a 1 year, bad year, right? And remember, he was traded last year. And we had AJ Pollock, who went from like a 918 OPS and an 880 OPS to 670 when he got traded. So not everybody adjusts well to trades all the time. So if you go down to his box, you can see some of these numbers look a little bit better when you're talking about some of the stuff. Max EV, XOB percentage, the ISO's a little bit higher, the WOBA was a little bit higher, or whatever from 21 or whatever. So, like, is this a guy that can take a 1 year deal, or whatever? For sure. He's only, according to our buddies over at Spot Rack or whatever, his market value is a 1 year. I think it's $6 million. 1 year, $7 million deal. So, I'm a little less excited about this one, but this is a guy that I could see fit because, he does play plus outfield. He does. He is above WOBA.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Let me just show you what There we go.
Yeah. This is
That's
Gonzo's one of those guys.
for sure.
Let's go sign Carlos Correa. Let's go sign Aaron Judge. Let's just write blank checks. Like you got to put a little bit of thought into this. How this go work.
I thought that was funny because that's what does Mancini look like? Is what he's saying.
First baseman that we don't need, Gonzo. A first baseman that we don't need. So like Grossman's not one of my favorites there, but he was one of the 3 or 4 that made the list.
All right, so let's go here. Let's go. Who is this guy? Seth Brown.
Yeah, this is my little secret sauce. This is probably my leader for the guy I would like the White Sox to acquire.
Now these are the ones that we can sign that are out there as free agents. Correct?
This one's actually a trade. This is a trade candidate.
This is a trade. Okay, well, I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna take him down. We'll get there. We'll get to our trades. We'll go there. Let's see.
Who else did you save?
Let's
you
go.
got Will Myers on there. That's trade.
That's a trade. Okay, here's Myers.
Yeah, so we'll have to go down a little bit here. Not much to see here other than he's a great outfielder, right? So like here, 2022 hurt, didn't play a lot, didn't qualify for the numbers. 21, he was terrible.
Okay.
But look at 20, right? Tell me you wouldn't sign up for 20.
Yeah, 20 is seriously up there now. But now, Eric, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Is the 2020 stats skewed because of COVID?
100%. No, that's a short sample size.
Okay.
Short sample size.
So
we can't necessarily look at that, but I want to focus on a few things. Like look at his ISO throughout his year, right?
Okay.
Look at his X slugs throughout his year. I know he had a bad one in 21. I get it, but look at his X slugs. Look at his barrel rates. Look at his barrel percentages. Look at his exit velocity numbers. Look at his max EV numbers. Look at his hard hit percentage.
Right.
And you know what else is really interesting with this guy? Do you know who drafted him?
No.
Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, well, they have
that's where our manager just came from, right? So
they've been one of the front runners of analytics too. So
yeah. Trey can't play left field. He had cancer and he can't even play the outfield. He's a first base DH. Gonzo. Yeah, so like that's another guy that could be on a 1-year deal, maybe a 1-and-1, or whatever the case. So like that's interesting. Let's just talk about Gonzo here. Like Gonzo is perfect for White Sox. Like Michael Brantley, Trey Mancini, we need a left fielder. We can put him in left field, Everybody forgets we have a part-time left fielder already. Eloy is going to play in left field. I'm sorry, he just is. The manager said it. Everybody said it. The kid's only 26, 27 years old. He's going to play in left field. He's going to play out there 4% of the time. The White Sox are never signing any of these 1-year deals that are guys that can only play left field or DH. You can throw out Andrew Benintendi. You can throw out Trey Mancini. You can throw out Michael Brantley. Like these left field only guys won't be an option because that's not what the White Sox front office should be looking for and won't be looking for. It's right field options that can pick up the D and maybe slug a little. That's what they're going to be after. So that's why you're seeing this list that you're seeing. You won't see any left fielders on here.
All right. So I
think that's all for the outfield. You got Segura. I don't know if you loaded him up or not.
I did. I got him.
Here's another guy we could sign, right?
We got a lot of red right here.
We got some red right down the middle, right? Not our favorite categories. We would love average extra velocity, X slug, hard hit percentage. Well, would it be a lot higher? But, it does have a little bit of power. XBA is good, more of a line drive hitter. He don't strike out. He don't whiff, or whatever, which is weird because he does chase. So, like, he's got great bat-to-ball skills. You can tell by looking at this right here. Do you see that, Ray? You see how his chase rate is bad, which means he's swinging at everything. But look at his whiff percentage. He don't miss. So that tells you that this guy has great bat-to-ball skills. This tells you by looking right here, this guy is going to put the ball in play. And the OA. So here's his page. XBA is higher, more of a TA type page here with less power, obviously, but he's a ground ball, on drive hitter. X slug's not going to be the best. Bail rates aren't going to be the best. His max AV is okay. He don't K. Hard hit percentage is okay, but he's a possible second baseman fit that we've heard the White Sox connected to. Yeah, tied too. So like, whatever. Like, I wouldn't hate it. The guy's got leadership. The guy can play D. The guy can do stuff or whatever. Like, but that's fine.
All right. So let's talk about wow, that's funny, Gonzo. Gonzo is on it today, buddy. That's our friend Gonzo. He's one of the scumbags. Shout out to the scumbags, the resident scumbags of the juke joint. Our friends.
Yeah, they fuel most of our bad ideas, and we bring them in here and talk about them. That's what. That's their job.
Those are our buddies.
They are the best.
With their several platforms, and our friend Gonzo, he's one of the Southburg hitmen. With their show on the Barroom Network. Justin and the
Brags
BGR
and stuff,
and Brags,
BGR
and with CHGO Sports, and
it's a very cool group. It's a very cool group.
We got a lot of people who we got a nice group of people who do their own thing, and a nice group of people who have their own platforms, and we all support each other, and we love it. It's just a family. Like, you fucking scumbags know that I love all of you, like brothers and sisters. So, and we miss Elise, but little shout out to her. She'll be back.
Yeah, you guys will be doing your football stuff. She's been traveling, right? But you guys will be all over the Bear stuff here.
We'll be up Sunday. Her and I will be up Sunday. Hopefully my camera doesn't fucking freeze up. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. I ain't going, like I said, one monkey don't stop no show. Torres is a must. I'm gonna show you this. Torres is a must at second base. My guy was hanged before Hahn, not being able to negotiate.
Yeah, he wanted Hanger. I mean, it's tough to say. Like, there's a lot of stuff we don't know. I mean, Mitch has been hurt a ton, whatever the case. And, they're obviously going to put him in left field there. So, like, who knows? I wanted Mitch too. I thought that he was a possible option. But
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
He was one of my guys that would have fit. He would have been on this segment if he wasn't possibly already out there. So.
All right. So, what are possible Sox trades?
Yeah, let's go. I think we got 3 or 4 here.
All right. Maybe I think we got more than that. Hold on 1 second. Let me flip that to this.
You're not going to like some of this, by the way.
I'm not?
No.
All right.
I'm trading your guy on a few of these.
Oh, shit. I'm just going to start throwing them up there, and then you can tell me what the fuck you're telling me. Okay?
But go to Seth Brown first on the Savant page.
I don't know. We're just going to go. I didn't get a chance to label these ones.
That's all right. Let's throw something up there.
Here we go. Who is this?
Yeah, so here's one, right? We're just talking about Torres. I don't think I gave you 2 of these Torreses. I hope you can find the other one, but maybe not. If not, we'll revisit. But just because it was a straight match, even though the White Sox are probably never, ever, as already mentioned by Hahn, moving on from Liam Hendricks. But as a straight match, so you got to talk about the Yankees. If you're trying to use our buddy John's site here, which you should, please stop writing articles, blogs, trade ideas and stuff if you don't use this model, because you're just a laughing joke to me. Like, it makes no difference. Like, you can't trade something that's got 70 value for the White Sox and we're only giving up 10. Like, use John's site, please, if you want to have any serious conversations around how trades and how values work. So this is a straight one. Obviously, value is 100% perfect, right? Torres for Liam Hendricks. So you have to think about, if you're trying to trade with the Yankees, what would the Yankees be looking for? The Yankees would be looking for a ready player now that can help their club. They're not going to be interested in having a minor league player. Not going to be interested in probably any kind of road player. Like, they're trying to win right now, right? They just signed Aaron Judge. They were announced today they're in on Correa. Like, they're trying to win. So, it would have to be a major league talent that they would want to use. Everybody loves bullpen stuff or whatever. So, there's a second one we'll see on him that I like better for the White Sox than getting rid of Hendricks. But here's the values, and this is what you got to play with. So if you're trading with the Yankees, you have to give up major league ready talent and something they would want. And know that answer is not Jake Burger or Sheets, to be somebody out of the bullpen or some type of pitching.
All right.
Yeah,
so let's see
what else we got? Yeah, this is my guy. So you have his Savant page too. I'd like to go back to his Savant page if you can after this. But this is Brown from the Oakland Athletics. He can play all 3 outfield positions. He's a plus value in left field. Not so good in right or center, but he can play them. He can play some time at first, DH. So he's a 5-position player. He's got 4 years of control left. He's got power. If we can go back to his Savant page, we'll see he's got power. So, Oakland Athletics, I'm trading with Oakland Athletics, right? So you have to think about, if you're a GM. If you're a GM, you would want to, here, right? Look X slug, right? Ray, look at X slug. Look at
I can't see the number. What's that? 81.
81. Look at X Woba, right? Like, look at barrel percentage. Like, and this guy's playing a big ballpark in Oakland. Let's move him in a little bit of the rate and see how that stuff goes, right? Left-handed hitter. Like I said, 4 years control. It's got the power. Like, this is a guy. So, like, if you're trading with Oakland, what would Oakland want, right? Like, what would Oakland need? What would Oakland's going to want a prospect. They're not going to want no major league talent. None of the clock's ticking stuff. They're going to want something that goes back. So on the trade value, I gave him Ramos, which is going to be a double-A talent or whatever. So, like, that would be, like, something they'd be looking for. It would match their windows. It would pair with their stuff. But having a guy like this that can cover 5 positions and can slug and do stuff, like, this is the one gem that nobody's talking about they should be talking about for me. Like, this would – if I was Han, I'd be trying to acquire Seth Brown.
And then look at this. I don't even know if we talked about
it. Who don't want this? I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's freaking ridiculous. I was just looking at this, on my phone. I'm like, holy shit, look at this. Yeah, this is pretty badass. Yeah.
So this would be one that I would 100% be in or after.
I got you. All right, so here we go.
Let's put something else.
Let's see. Boom. That's low.
That's low.
Wow, he's a haul. God damn.
He is a haul, right? He is a haul. Oakland will never want Vaughn. Gonzo never. So contract's already started. His window's already going. They never want Vaughn. So low trade value here is high, right? Second baseman, left-handed, power hitter, whatever. Trading with Tampa Bay is never, ever a good idea. Never a good idea. But I mean, he fits a White Sox scheme other than he kicks the ball around. He's not a very good defender. But second base, left-handed power hitter, right? What would the Rays want? Who knows? The Rays are so crafty and so good at trading, whatever. I went with prospects here. I mean, I know they want power, and I know they want some left-handed hitter that's been reported. So I gave him Colas. I gave him our second-round pick last year, Kath, and I threw in Ramos again here. Like, Ramos is I hope we don't move him, but, man, he fits a lot of these trade values, and he fits a lot of the stuff with where he's at in the organization.
All right.
So that's low.
All right, here we go. Boom. Who is this? Lambert?
This is the other one.
Oh, fuck. No.
I told you.
No.
So going back to trying to get back on this one or whatever, like Torres 11-6, like this would be what Torres' value is. This deal I like better for the White Sox. Lambert's only got 1 year of control. I mean, Lopez only got 1 year of control left. Lambert being able to be a starter or go back and forth, so I have a swing man or whatever. He does have some years of control left, but I like this deal better than giving away a Liam or whatever. But this was another one that I proposed, like in the deal, going after the same guy.
100% wrong from MLB.
Yeah, he's talking about last year. He heard that they were after Vaughn and this and that, and it made a big difference last year. But I'm telling you, there's no chance with the moves that they've made and having zero MLB, they're going to want a guy with 4 years. Like, this is the problem with people that read insider stuff or that look at insider stuff and don't understand what they're after. When you see Sean Murphy traded, you won't see major league people on there. You might see 1 or 2, but you're going to see the bulk of the talent's going to be minor league people. They traded last year for first-round picks. They're not going to all of a sudden mix first-round picks with current MLB talent. They're just not going to do that. That's not how you manage windows. So, I mean, I know somebody read something that Vaughn was involved, in possible stuff, but it's not going to. Yeah, which is already a half year's changed. They've already made more moves since then. So you have to understand how the market moves. But that's fine. Let's go on to the next one.
All right. And this is the last one we got, Eric. What is this? Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and trade Gonzo's favorite player on this one.
Right. How ironic that it's Gonzo in there. Fucking
Hi, Gonzo. I'm gonna go ahead and just swap him out right here. Right. Yeah. So
let's just do that.
There's this is interesting. Cease has got the most value on a team, right? And the Padres have a little bit of a problem right now because they have Manny Machado at third.
Yeah.
They have Bogarts now at short. And they have 2 second basemen. They have Kim and they have Cronenworth. And so they're a little bit of a jam there or whatever. Like, they're looking at this. whatever. So I was like, Cease has got the most value. If we wanted to possibly fill the backup catcher role with a future catcher going forward, we wanted like an elite second baseman, and we got a hot prospect coming out of the minor leagues. This was a deal. But more than likely, I can see the White Sox being partners with the Padres for Cronenworth or for Kim. Kim's got a little bit lower trade value. I don't know if I sent you one. I don't think I did, but he's like an 18, right?
Yeah,
so like,
I don't know if we got a Kim one.
Yeah. So like the Padres are another source. Now that they've signed, like this is what I'm talking about, trying to talk about Gonzo. Gonzo's worried about what happened last trade deadline. Like rosters have moved, stuff has moved. Nobody cares about what happened last deadline. Like now that the Padres have signed Xander, they have a logjam in the field. So like I just said, Manny's playing third, Xander's playing short. They have 2 second basemen and Kim in the deal. Tatis is playing left, so you can't put Kim in the outfield. Grissom's playing center, Soto's playing right. So they have no spot for either Cronenworth or Kim, unless they're going to kick Cronenworth at first, which maybe they do, but I don't think they do. It sounds like they still might be in the first baseman market. So, like, this is a team that now, and the reason why the trade market always comes back over the first after the free agent market is because they have these teams now, after they sign players, have extras. So then the trade market will presume. So a couple things, the White Sox could be partners with the Padres. Is what I was getting at there.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can't argue with it. The people aren't seeing me move my face or anything. I'm just here as a still and a voice. I'm a still and a voice, buddy. But I'm sorry for that because
no, man, I don't care. I'm just glad we're on here. I'm glad to be talking and drinking scotch with you. I know you're drinking over there, or whatever.
Yeah, I just wish. I don't know, man. It's fickle. Like for some reason, last night was. I mean, any other time is beautiful, but this time it's just whatever. So I'm gonna try to make sure it's better for the next one. This was enlightening for me, buddy, and.
Yeah, I think maybe before we go home, let's play the Correa video for him one more time. If anybody maybe halfway in or something, let's play the Correa video for him one more time.
And once again, this is Carlos Correa. Like, what is Correa going to pull? Make a prediction, Eric. What's his contract going to look like, and where do you think he's going to end up? Is he going to Minnesota? Is he going back to Minnesota?
No, I mean I don't know how you could ever rule out the Yankees, or whatever. But I would guess you would have to. If I had to say what I thought, I think Carlos Correa will end up with the Giants because they missed out on the Judge deal, and I'll say he's gonna break every record that's been out there. I'll go 11-3-30 to the San Francisco Giants.
Holy to the Giants!
I'm gonna go the Giants. 11-3-30, Carlos Correa to the San Francisco Giants.
Holy 11-3-30. All right, you called it here first. Thanks, Gonzo, for letting me know. He said I'm not frozen on his end. So I guess it's just me sitting here looking at my damn self, not making it.
Yeah, it is me too. I'm just looking straight at you too. So like,
I guess so. But 11-3-30 to the New York. I was about to say New York Giants. The San Francisco Giants. No, it's not as bad as you telling me to go find Rex Grossman on fucking.
I did earlier. Yeah. Well, I'll go 11-3-30 to the Giants. That's my prediction.
But once again, this is Carlos Correa. He's speaking about what GMs are looking for, and him knowing this. This is like a player understanding and talking to other players about what it's going to take for them to get this money. Because he's going to get his money. So this is what you should focus on if you want to get your money. That's basically what he's saying.
Yep.
All right, so here's Carlos Correa.
With the old school, it was average, home runs, RBI. So everybody look at that and judge a player based on those stats. Now, there's a lot more information out there. Now, it's all about projection. So how do you project a player? Play discipline is very important. WRC Plus takes into consideration the ballparks you play in, the league you play in, the quality of contact, your play discipline, just about everything in just one stat. So when GMs, when front offices, when they look at stats, they want to look at WRC Plus for a hitter, OPS Plus, and WOBA. Those are the most important stats right now in baseball. Those are the new triple crown, as we like to call it back in the day. It's not average home runs anymore. So when I'm in the clubhouse with the players, I make sure I tell them, hey, home runs are nice. You know, if you can hit as many of them, hit them. But also focus on your plate discipline. Get on base. Hit the ball hard. That's the key of the game. Barrel balls.
There you go, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. And I hope that, like, maybe this was enlightening for people. When you're looking at contracts, you're looking for value. You understand the options better. You understand what teams will be looking for, what teams won't be looking for. And also what stats to use. Don't be going on Twitter and saying, I want this guy. He had a 317 batting average and a 340 on base percentage. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time when we're in the spaces. So if anyone finds us on YouTube or on Twitter or whatever, just know that once baseball starts back up and you want to come into the space with us, we run a space every White Sox game, and we talk about everything during the game. It's like sitting in a bar or sitting at home or sitting in the backyard or whatever, watching a game, sitting at the ballpark, hell, watching a game with your buddies. And that's what we do. That's what we try to provide. I think this is now that we have a new medium outside of just dropping the pod every week, and we have the YouTube with the visuals and stuff. This is just going to get better and better and better. And I want everyone to come along for the ride as the juke joint grows. We already have a collaboration with BGR with South Side of the Wall where we talk Game of Thrones. Eric, I haven't even told you this, but I got a show coming just for me and for other nerds and other people who still watch wrestling. And
oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So I got
There'll be a lot of you on that. A lot of it. I can't believe the following that wrestling still has.
It still has, but I still watch it because it's just, I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's just.
Listen, our buddy NWI Steve, he's always got the wrestling stuff going. I know Ken Wolf from Bad Guys always watching the wrestling stuff. Like, it's just, I think even Matt does. I think Matt, whatever, Crawford, I think he still does the wrestling stuff.
I mean, it's just, we all know, like, we know that it's scripted and things like that. But I mean, we watch TV shows, we watch fucking whatever.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, no, you'll blow it up with that for sure. Like,
we're going to start
this content here. This content here is going to get the lowest deal, but it'll make a difference for people that.
Oh, absolutely. No, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, it may get the lowest, but it's not, honestly.
Our whole goal is to be not like everybody else. Like any other podcast can come on and complain about, oh my God, I think Jerry's cheap, and I don't think Han's doing his job right, and I can't believe we let Jose Abreu go. Let's make trades with every single team, and let's do that, and let's do this, and let's sign Aaron Judge. Like, how come?
No, I think our show, I think our deal, I think everything that we're going to try to do, especially when we're talking about the Chicago White Sox, is to look at it from, like, it's a different perspective, but it's also the perspective of progress. It's a progression type thing.
And like, it's just to give people, if you are really interested in front office knowledge or what front office thinks, like, this is a follow for you. Like, we literally just laid out for 58 minutes and 33 seconds with clips, with stuff, with videos to prove it.
Yeah.
And then showed you how possibly the White Sox might use some of these tools to go get somebody. Like, this is how it's used. This is what front offices think, and this is how it goes. So if you're really, interested in this and how it goes, like, we're the place for you to hang out.
That's it. Come hang out with us in the juke joint, right?
Yeah, and if you just want to hang out and drink, that's cool too.
That's cool too, because that's what we're going to be doing, especially when I got a better fucking feed and I'm not frozen the whole fucking time. But anyway, well, Eric, thank you for coming up with the content today. This was Eric's room. In the juke joint, and we're just going to keep on doing this. And what's next on the hot stove, Eric?
So like, we need a few more free agents to go, then the trade market will hit up. But like, I think you're going to start seeing it. People are going to want their players in camp or talking to early January. So I really think this next 2 weeks, after you get by this weekend won't probably much happen, but you get by this weekend, I think the 2 weeks after that, I think the trade market really heat up. And I think you'll see the White Sox make, 3-4 trades.
Okay. All right. I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait. I hope we're on top of it. And I'm still holding you to 11-330 to the New York Giants.
11-330.
I said it fucking again. The San Francisco Giants.
San Francisco 11-330. I'm going to go with. He might get 12. But I'm going 11. I'm going 11.
Okay. All right. Well, this was our show. Last call was about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And we thank you for watching and hanging out with us in the juke joint. And we about to cut the lights off in this bitch.